This is for educational use only. Our group grants permission for our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinis, to use this as an educational material.
Nihilism. Socrates believed that the true self is the soul, not the physical body. For him, the most important task of a person is to know oneself, know the self, because self-knowledge leads to wisdom and moral goodness. He thought that a person becomes better by developing virtue and living a life guided by reason and truth. Plato also believed that the self is mainly the soul, but he explained that the soul has three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. When these three parts are balanced, especially when reasons lead, the person lives a harmonious and meaningful life. Aristotle had a different view because he believed that the self made of both body and soul together, not separate from each other. He thought that the soul is what gives life and purpose to the body. So the human person is a complete whole. For Aristotle, the goal of the self is to achieve eudaimonia, meaning true happiness or human flourishing. This is reached by practicing virtue, making good choices, and living a balanced life guided by this person.
The three philosophers. So, Socrates, the soul as the thinker. Socrates defined the self as the immortal soul, psyche, the seat of intellect and character that outlives the body. He believed that your true identity is discovered through constant questioning and self-examination. Famously, that the unexamined life is not worth living. For Socrates, the self is a moral entity that achieves excellence only through the pursuit of wisdom and the stripping away of false beliefs. Plato, the divided self. Plato viewed the self as a tripartite soul composed of three competing forces: reason, the mind; spirit, the emotions; and appetite, the body desires. He described the self as a charioteer reason trying to balance two horses, one noble and one wild, to achieve inner harmony. To Plato, the self is an internal being temporarily trapped in a physical body, whose goal is to transcend material distraction and remember universal truths. Aristotle, the functional self. Aristotle rejected the idea of separate soul, defining the self as a hylomorphic union where the soul is simply the form or function of living body. He argued that the self is not a static spirit but a living process shaped by action and habit. For Aristotle, you make yourself by repeatedly choosing the golden mean, the virtuous balance between extreme, meaning your identity is defined by what you consistently do.
I'll be going to tackle about what is the perspective of understanding self, and also they're known as the great three of Western philosophy, which is Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. So first, we have Socrates. Understanding self, he believed knowing yourself was the foundation of wisdom. He argued that the unexamined life is not worth living, emphasizing self-reflection to uncover innate knowledge and moral virtue. Since he thought virtue is knowledge, the self to him was distinct from the body, focused on the soul or mind as the seat of reason and character. So, Socrates liked to ask questions over and over to make people see their mistakes and find the truth. So this is called the Socratic method. He thought that truth is, is inside us, we just need to bring it out. So Plato. So Plato, the students of Socrates, proposing that the self is composed of three parts: reason, the rational soul, spirit or emotional drive, and appetite or physical desires. A just self aligns these parts with, with reason governing the others. He also posited that the true self is the immortal soul, which pre-exists and recollects knowledge of eternal forms or ideal concepts like beauty or justice. So Plato made ideas about perfect forms of things, and he started the first school for learning and built big rules for how we think. So the last but not the least, Aristotle, who rejected Plato's theory of forms. He didn't agree with Plato's ideas of perfect forms. Instead, he said that the self is tied to our bodies. We are people who can think and reason. We become our best selves by building good habits and using our sense to make choices. The goal is to live well and be happy, called eudaimonia. Also, we need to be with others because humans are meant to live in communities. So he built the base for thinking skills, life, science, knowing what's right, and to run societies. He learned by looking at real things in the world, and his way of thinking shaped Western science and ideas for hundreds of years.
How the philosophers Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle contribute in understanding self. So first is Socrates. Socrates believed that understanding the self starts with deep self-examination. His famous idea, non thyself, teaches that people should question their beliefs, values, and actions to discover truth. For him, an examined life is not worth living. He focused on the soul rather than the body, saying that moral character defines who truly are. Understanding the self means knowing what is good and acting rightly, because wisdom and virtue lead to meaningful life. Plato, however, explained that self-truth is his theory of soul, which has the three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. He believed the rational part is the true self and should guide emotion and desires. For Plato, understanding the self means allowing reason to rule so a person can live wisely and morally. When the soul is in balance, a person moves closer to the truth, justice, and goodness. Lastly, Aristotle. Aristotle viewed the self as a rational being shaped by action and habits. He believed people are not born virtuous but become virtuous through practice and good choices. Understanding the self for Aristotle means developing good character and living according to reason. True happiness is achieved when a person fulfills their purpose, lives a balanced life and virtuous life.
Three of the most influential thinkers in history: Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. They live in an ancient Greece, and their ideas shape how we think about truth, knowledge, ethics, politics, and even science. What makes them special is that they were not just philosophers, but they were also teachers and students, passing ideas from one generation to the next. So let's start Socrates. Socrates did not write any books. In fact, everything we know about him comes from his students, especially Plato. His main contribution was not a theory, but it was a method. Socrates believed that true wisdom begins when we admit we don't know everything. He walked around Athens asking people questions about justice, courage, and goodness. This questioning style is now called the Socratic method, asking deep questions to expose contradictions and reach clearer understanding. Socrates believed that knowledge leads to virtue. If people truly understand what is right, they will do what is right. Because he challenged authority in traditional beliefs, he was seen as dangerous. In the end, Socrates was put on a trial and sentenced to death. He accepted his punishment calmly, believing that living a just life mattered more than avoiding death. Socrates focused on ethics, self-examination, and critical questioning. So the next is Plato, the student of Socrates. Unlike his teacher, Plato wrote extensively. He recorded Socrates' ideas through dialogues, where characters debate philosophical questions. Plato believed that the world we see is not the true reality. According to him, there exists as a higher, perfect will come, the world of forms. Everything in our physical world is just an imperfect copy of these perfect forms. For example, all chairs are different, but the idea of a chair is perfect and changing. One of Plato's most famous ideas is the allegory of the cave. It explains how people mistake illusions for reality and how education helps us see the truth. Plato also believed that society should be ruled by philosopher kings or leaders who love wisdom and the truth rather than power. Plato focused on ideal reality, knowledge, education, and political philosophy. And finally, we have Aristotle, who was a student of Plato. Aristotle disagreed with his teacher in an important way, while Plato focused on ideas beyond the physical world. Aristotle believed that knowledge begins with observation and experience. He studied almost everything: biology, physics, ethics, politics, logic, and art. Because of this, Aristotle is often called the father of science. In ethics, Aristotle believed that the goal of life is happiness, or eudaimonia. He thought that happiness is achieved by living a life of balance, known as the golden mean, or avoiding extremes. For example, courage is the balance between fear and recklessness. So, Aristotle believed humans are social beings and that strong communities are essential for a good life. Aristotle focused on logic, science, practical ethics, and real-world observation. Socrates taught us to question, and Plato taught us to think beyond appearance. And Aristotle taught us to observe and understand the world as it is. So, together, their ideas laid the foundation of Western philosophy and continue to influence education, politics, science, and ethics even today.
Plato believes that reality is divided into two levels: the physical worlds that we see and the world of wisdom, which contains perfect and unchanging ideas. His perspective emphasized that true knowledge comes from reason and intellect rather than the senses. Plato believes that the physical world is imperfect and only a reflection of the ideal forms. He values wisdom, justice, and truth as the highest goals of human lives. For Plato, education is essential in guiding the soul toward knowledge and virtue. Plato's major contribution was his written philosophical dialogues, such as The Republic, which discussed justice, politics, and the ideal state. His founding the Academy, one of the earliest schools of higher learning in history. Through his writing, Plato preserved the teaching of Socrates for further generations. His ideas influenced philosophy, politics, and education for centuries. Plato's work laid the foundation for Western philosophical thought.
Socrates, the self as a quest for truth. Socrates believed the self is synonymous with the soul, and its primary purpose is to seek wisdom and virtue. He famously argued that the unexamined life is not worth living. suggesting that we only truly understand ourselves by constantly questioning our belief and moral values. For Socrates, the self is not static object but a continuous process of ethical, self-improving, and intellectual honesty. His greatest contribution to understanding the self is Socratic method, which teaches us that self-awareness comes from stripping away false certainty by admitting what we do not know. We clear the path to discover our true nature. He posits that the self is intellectual and moral entity is the most cared for more the body or material possession. So Plato, the self is dualistic soul. Plato viewed the self as soul stuck within a physical body, longing to return and to higher reality of ideals or forms. He proposed as a tripartite theory of the soul, where the self is composed of the three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. A person truly understands their self only when reason governs the other two parts, creating internal harmony. So Plato's contribution is the idea that the self is capable of perceiving truth beyond the physical senses. Through the allegory of the cave, he suggests that our perceived self is the material world is the often an illusion, and real self-knowledge involves turning the soul toward the light of ultimate truth that perfect forms. Aristotle, the self as a rational animal. Aristotle disagreed with Plato's dualism, arguing instead that the self is unified being where the soul is the form of the body. He believed that we understand the self observing our action and our place is the natural world, emphasized that humans are rational animals. To Aristotle, the self defined by its telos, its purpose, which is to archive eudaimonia or how flourishing through the exercise of reason. His contributing to self-understand is the golden mean, the idea that the self finds the best expression through balance and habit by practicing virtue, finding the middle of the ground between extremes, which shapes our character. For Aristotle, the self is something we build through consistent logical choice and empirical observation for life.
Good day everyone, my name is Tobias Andre A. Today, I am going to tackle about the three of the most influential thinkers of the history. First, Socrates. Socrates believes that the true self is the soul, not the physical body or material possession. For him, the soul is a source of personal moral character, reason, and capacity for virtue. He famously emphasized the importance of self-examination through his statement, "Know thyself," arguing that understanding one's beliefs and values is essential to living a good life. According to Socrates, wrongdoing is the result of ignorance rather than intentional evil. When a person truly knows that what is good, they will naturally act in a various way. Therefore, the development of the self requires continuous questioning, belief, and pursuit of wisdom. Well cared for soul leads to virtue, and virtue in turn leads to genuine happiness. Next, Plato. Plato expanded Socrates' idea by presenting the self as an immortal soul that exists independently of the body. He described the soul as having three parts: the rational, the spirited, and the appetitive. Each part has its own role, but a just and harmonious self exists only when reason governs that other parts. The body and its desire often distract the soul for attaining truth and wisdom. Plato believed that the soul's highest purpose is to seek knowledge of the forms, especially the form of the God, which represent ultimate reality. The self is at its best when it turns away from bodying pleasure and focuses on intellectual and moral development. Through reason and philosophical reflection, the soul can be achieved balance, move closer to truth and justice. Last but not the least, Aristotle. Aristotle viewed the self as a unity of body and soul, rejecting Plato's idea that the soul exists separately from the body. For him, the soul is the form that gives life to the body, meaning that a person cannot be fully understood without considering both physical and rational aspects. Humans are rational beings, and this capacity for reason distinguishes them from other living things. The self, according to Aristotle, is shaped through habits or actions practices over time. Happiness or eudaimonia is achieved not through pleasure alone but through living a life of virtue in accordance with reason. By consistently choosing moral actions and developing good character, a person fulfills their true nature and achievements a meaningful and flourishing life.
Aristotle viewed the self as a unity of the body and soul, not as two separate things. He believed that the soul is the form of the body, meaning it gives life and purpose to a living being. For Aristotle, the self cannot exist without the body alive because the soul is what makes the body alive and functional. He also explained that the soul has different aspects such as the vegetative, sensitive, rational, with the rational soul being unique to humans. Aristotle also believed that understanding the self means understanding one function, which is rational activity. He argued that a person becomes their best self by practicing reason and developing virtues like courage, temperance, and wisdom. For him, the goal of the self is eudaimonia, or true happiness, which is achieved by living a life of virtue and balance. Thus, the self is shaped through actions, habits, and moral choices. For Plato, Plato believed that the self is primarily the soul which exists independently of the body. He viewed the body as temporary and imperfect, while the soul is internal and capable of knowing the truth. According to Plato, the soul existed before birth and will continue after death. He emphasized that the true self is not the physical body